Chapter 55. Angela's POV. The hospital smelled like antiseptic and quiet when they finally let me leave. 7. 73. 55 vouchers. 2 days. 2 days of observation, of nurses checking my vitals every few hours, of Dr. Patel shining lights in my eyes and asking me to remember words and numbers. 2 days of Liam barely leaving my side except when they forced him to. Dr. Patel stood at the foot of my bed with a clipboard, her expression calm but serious. "Your scans look good," she said. "The concussion is resolving, and the sedative is fully out of your system. You're cleared to go home today." Relief rushed through me so fast I almost laughed. "But," she continued, lifting a finger, "I need you to be aware of something. As your brain continues to heal, you may experience delayed symptoms. Headaches. Disorientation. Emotional swings." Her gaze softened. "Possibly flashbacks." Liam stiffened beside me. "Flashbacks?" I asked. "Fragments," she clarified. "Sounds, sensations, images. They may come without warning. If that happens, you ground yourself, touch something solid, breathe slowly and tell someone. Especially him." She nodded toward Liam. "I'll be right there," he said immediately. "Always." Dr. Patel gave a small, knowing smile. "I'm sure you will." By the time we were discharged, I was exhausted in a way that felt deeper than sleep. Liam wrapped my coat around me himself, like my arms had forgotten how. He held my elbow as we walked, opened every door, hovered so closely I could feel his body heat even when he wasn't touching me. I didn't say anything. Not yet. The drive back to the apartment was quiet. Liam kept one hand on the steering wheel and the other resting on my thigh, like he needed the constant reassurance that I was still there. Still breathing. Still real. When we finally got inside, he kicked off his shoes and immediately started fussing around, setting pillows on the couch, lowering the lights, asking if I wanted water, tea, soup. Silence. "Liam," I said gently. "I'm okay." He nodded, but I could tell he didn't believe me. He sat beside me on the couch, close enough that our knees touched, his posture rigid with restraint. "You don't have to do everything for me," I added, trying to keep my tone light. "I'm not going to shatter if I pour my own glass of water." "I know," he said quickly. Too quickly. "You're hovering," I said, a little sharper than I meant to. "And I get it, I do, but..." His jaw tightened. His eyes flickered away from mine, and that was when I saw it. Not control. Not stubbornness. Fear. Raw and lingering, like it had nowhere to go. My irritation dissolved instantly. "I'm sorry," I said softly. "I didn't mean to snap." He shook his head. "You're allowed to snap. You were kidnapped." I reached for his hand. He stilled like he was afraid to move too fast, then let me lace my fingers through his. "I'm not going to break," I told him quietly. "You can stop treating me like I'm made of glass." 12/12 Monday, January 26 gr. Chapter 55. 55 vouchers. He finally looked at me then. Really looked. "I know," he said. His voice cracked just slightly. I keep thinking about what could have happened if we'd been even an hour later. If." I squeezed his hand, cutting off the spiral before it could drag him under. "You found me," I said. "You saved me." He exhaled slowly, like the words physically loosened something in his chest. He shifted closer, still holding my hand, his thumb brushing over my knuckles in a slow, grounding motion. We sat like that for a while. No TV. No music. Just the hum of the city outside and the quiet proof that we were both still here. "Liam," I said eventually. "Yeah." When I was, before I passed out, my throat tightened. I swallowed and kept going. I remember trying to hold onto one thought. His thumb stilled. "I didn't want to disappear," I said, "and I kept thinking that I needed to survive because I had something important to tell you." He turned fully toward me now. "What did you want to tell me?" I hesitated. My heart pounded, loud and unsteady. This wasn't how I'd imagined saying it. There was fear wrapped around the truth, and vulnerability, and the echo of a warehouse I still couldn't remember. But it was still the truth. I didn't know when it happened. All I knew was that those few days he was gone, I realized how much he meant to me. It wasn't a rebound, neither was it something I just wanted. Liam was my person, and it was time to tell him the truth. This fake dating thing, I said quietly, it stopped being fake for me. Maybe it was never fake and I was just too scared to admit it. His breath caught. I'm not pretending anymore, I finished. I can't. The silence that followed felt enormous. Liam stared at me like he was afraid the words might vanish if he moved too fast. Angela, he said slowly, carefully, I need you to be sure. Because I've been in love with you for so long that I don't remember what it feels like not to love you. And if you're just confused, or grateful, or this is a rebound, then... I'm sure, I interrupted, my voice shaking but firm. I'm terrified, and the timing is probably terrible considering I just got kidnapped, but I'm sure. Tears burned behind my eyes. I love you, Liam, I said. I think I've been falling for you ever since you made me feel special on my birthday when Ethan forgot, and since the way you stood up for me even when you didn't have to. But I wasn't sure about my feelings until this moment. I let out a weak, breathless laugh. I was just too afraid to name it. He didn't say anything. Instead, he lifted his hands and cupped my face gently, like he was afraid I might vanish under his touch. His thumbs brushed my cheeks, wiping away tears I hadn't realized were falling. Then he kissed me. It was nothing like the staged kiss from weeks ago. There was no audience. No script. No pretending. This kiss was slow and deep and real, filled with everything we'd been holding back. Fear. Relief. Want. Love. When we finally broke apart, he rested his forehead against mine, his breath uneven. I love you, he whispered. God, Angela, I love you so much. I closed my eyes, letting the words sink in, anchoring me. 12/12 Monday, January 26 GR. Chapter 55. 373. 55 vouchers. For the first time since the van, since the darkness, since the fear, I felt something steady settle in my chest. I was safe. And I wasn't alone. AD.